presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Arizona.
Welcome to Minnesota. We're at Target Field in downtown Minneapolis, the first of three against the Twins. Two teams in different leagues, but both fighting for wild cards. The D-backs tied for that National League wild card lead. Minnesota only one game out of an American League spot. We are set for D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Target Field, and welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthume and Bob Brenly along the way. It's the first of three, a weekend series here against the Minnesota Twins. We haven't been here in nearly 3 years, September of 2014, the last time the Diamondbacks played at Target Field, Bob. What can we expect over the weekend from this ballpark?
It's a very deceiving ballpark. We both came up here to the press box, looked down at the field, and made a comparison with Coors Field in the National League. But when you go down to field level and watch the way guys hit the baseball, it plays really small, especially to left and right field down the lines. Could see some cheap home runs here in this ballpark in this series.
Well, let's get the home run hitters going. Both Goldie and Jake Lamb in the starting lineup tonight, of course, against Irvin Santana. These guys have been putting up some good numbers since the All-Star break.
Well, and it's that time of year. You want your big run producers, Jake Lamb, Paul Goldschmidt, and to a lesser extent, J.D. Martinez, to start to do that. Drive in some runs, get on base ahead of the guys behind them. It would help if the supporting cast would pick up the pace a little bit, but these two guys are going to have to carry most of the load.
Yeah, we're in an American League park. Might be time to try and play some American League baseball and slug it out here at Target Field in Minnesota. First pitch is coming up on Fox Sports Arizona.
Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Gila River Casinos. The card by Gila River Casinos earns you rewards 10 times faster than ever before. Sign up today at any Gila River hotels and casinos location. By Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing, choose Chaz. By Jack in the Box and the Jumbo Jack, a home run for your mouth. By the Donor Network of Arizona. Sign up, save lives. Visit donatelifeaz.org. And by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world.
Downtown Minneapolis. Only a slight delay to the start of the ball game today. It's for a terrific reason. This is the return to the Twin Cities for Ron Gardenhire, Diamondbacks bench coach, and this is a big moment for Gardy, who was the winningest manager in Twins history. He's won over 1,000 games as the Twins skipper, 13 seasons as their manager, and he's being honored right now here at Target Field.
One-time donation. The Twins have been supporters of this campaign for almost 20 years. Since the inception of the Home Run Challenge in 1997, the initiative has raised more than $47 million for prostate cancer research. Once again this year, the Twins pledged $10,000 per home run and $1,000 per strikeout during the Home Run Challenge. 2017 was a record-setting year for the Twins and the Prostate Cancer Foundation. In 2017, we are proud to make this contribution on behalf of someone near and dear to the Twins family. He called Minnesota and the Twins clubhouse home for almost 25 years as a coach, manager, and member of the front office. And he won 6 division titles as a skipper. Please direct your attention to the video board. Get on your feet and please welcome back Arizona Diamondbacks bench coach and former Minnesota Twins manager, Mr. Ron Gardenhire. Gardy served this community that he called home through his work with charities, the military and veterans, and the ALS Association, as well as the Prostate Cancer Foundation. Shortly after joining the Arizona Diamondbacks as a bench coach, Gardy was diagnosed with prostate cancer. He was well aware of the effects of the disease and work being done to combat the cancer. After working with the Prostate Cancer Foundation on their home run challenge for many years when he was with the Twins. Ron Gardenhire will now accept the donation of $180,000 on behalf of the Prostate Cancer Foundation from the Minnesota Twins. Presenting the check, Twins CEO and President Dave St. Peter. Thank you, Gardy, and thank you, Prostate Cancer Foundation, for all you do in the fight against prostate cancer. For more information on how you can help, please go to pcf.org.
A great moment for the Diamondbacks and for bench coach Ron Gardenhire. Back here in Minnesota. First pitch is coming up next on Fox Sports Arizona. Baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by your Valley Honda dealers, where you get more standard features for less money. By Gigablast Internet from Cox. Get ready for the gig life. By Oregano's. Step up to the plate for a guaranteed home run at Oregano's, your neighborhood pizza joint, location statewide. By Phoenix Raceway. See Dale Jr.'s final West Coast race during the Can-Am 500 NASCAR semifinal at Phoenix Raceway November 10th through the 12th. Tickets at phoenixraceway.com. And by State Farm. Here to make life go right. Talk to an agent today or call 1-800-STATE-FARM. Well, it's the land of 10,000 lakes. We're on the shores of the mighty Mississippi here in downtown Minneapolis. Beautiful Target Field, where it's cool and cloudy, very comfortable here. Steve Berthew, Bob Brenly, and Todd Walsh with you. The first of three, the Diamondbacks and the Minnesota Twins. It's our first visit to Target Field in nearly 3 years, September of 2014. Last time we were here. And here's a look at Torey Lovullo's lineup with one late change. It's brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Yeah, here's how Torey's going to line them up. We'll tell you about the change in a moment. David Peralta will lead it off in right field tonight. A.J. Pollock will be out in center. Jake Lamb at third base. Paul Goldschmidt over at first. Daniel Descalso at second base. Chris IANNETTA doing the catching. Brandon Drury will serve as a designated hitter tonight with Ketel Marte at short. Gregor Blanco in left field, and right-hander Zach Godley on the mound.
Now, I was curious, we're in Minneapolis. You may have gone with a Prince theme, maybe a Mary Tyler Moore, but what did you and your staff come up with here for the Valley Honda dealers? Key to the game.
It's always a tough deal as a National League team to try to figure out what to do with that DH spot, and Torey is just kind of using it as a revolving door. We saw Paul Goldschmidt go 1 for 4 with a solo home run against the Astros. Yesterday, J.D. Martinez 1 for 4 with a single. Tonight, the next man up is Brandon Drury serving as a designated hitter.
J.D. Martinez, a late scratch in there. A.J. Pollock was initially the designated hitter, but J.D. has an illness. Under the weather, so Drury steps in as DH, and Pollock's the center fielder. Twins are hot. They've won 8 of their last 11. Only one game over 500, but only one game out of a wild card spot in the American League. And your Ram truck starter for Minnesota is the veteran right-hander Ervin Santana. His 13th big league season, his third here with the Twins. He was an all-star this year. He has already won a dozen games. He's already thrown 3 shutouts.
And he's also given up 25 home runs this season. This guy's got really good stuff. Torey Lovullo was talking about the shape-changing slider that he throws. At times it'll be very short, quick, and late breaking. Other times more of a sweeper, something the Diamondbacks are going to have to be aware of tonight.
Let's take a look at Minnesota defensively. That's brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Byron Buxton will be out in center field, flanked by Eddie Rosario in left, Max Kepler in right field. It'll be Miguel Sano at third base, Jorge Polanco at shortstop, Brian Dozier at second base. Longtime Minnesota Twin Joe Mauer down at first base, with Jason Castro doing the catching for right-hander Ervin Santana.
Yeah, this is very athletic Twins club. That's what stands out for Torey Lovullo, the athleticism. They can play defense. Ted Barrett, the crew chief, is our plate umpire tonight, calling the balls and strikes. Angel Hernandez is at first base, John Tumpane at second, and Sean Barber, the third base umpire tonight. We are set to go. D-backs 13 games over 500, 67-54. Same record as the Rockies, so tied with Colorado for that first wild card spot in the National League. And we're underway on a lovely Friday evening here in downtown Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota. 1-0 on Peralta. 302 and 12 homers. David singled, scored a run yesterday in Houston in his return from paternity leave. Rolls that one by Miguel Sano, and down the left field line, Peralta as a leadoff single.
I mentioned in the open of the show, Jake Lamb and Paul Goldschmidt are going to do the heavy lifting, but some of the other players need to get more involved in the offense. Good start here by David Peralta with that opposite field base hit right down the third base line.
Well, here's a key guy that they hope the bat starts to come back to life. It's A.J. Pollock, 273 and 5 homers. And some encouraging signs yesterday in the win at Houston. A.J. singled twice, including his 500th career hit. Trying to check on that fastball, and it's 0-1. AJ in his last dozen games hitting 143. It's been a struggle. Peralta 7 stolen bases on the year. He's only been caught once. Mauer holds him on the bag at first.
Opposing base stealers a perfect 7 for 7 when Santana is on the mound this season.
And if you're thinking about trying to bunt for a base hit, Miguel Sano at third base, who's a huge guy, has really come a long way defensively. He can move around. He's good at charging balls. He's got a big time arm. And we'll get a look right here. Sano barehands it and throws him out. We have been told that Miguel Sano's defense has improved by leaps and bounds as he's got more comfortable over there, and we just saw why.
Yeah, they've even dropped the B word on Miguel Sano. Brooks, he's made some plays in foul territory reminiscent of Brooks Robinson when he used to go to his backhand and throw from foul territory in time to get runners at first. Apparently Sano has reminded some people here in Minnesota of some of the plays Brooks Robinson used to make. That's pretty high praise.
I mean, look at him. He is 6'4", 260 pounds, Miguel Sano, but he can really move around over there at third. So they move Peralta along, 1 out, and here's Jake Lamb. First pitch slider. That's the Santana slider, and as Bob mentioned, several different versions of it. Lamb 266, now 26 home runs. He's knocked in 93. Fastball away. It's 1-1. Jake homered yesterday in Houston. He's hit safely in 5 straight games. He's got 5 extra base hits during that 5-game hit streak. And he belts it into center field. David Peralta coming around third. He will score, and very quickly it's 1-0 D-backs. Lamb will break for second base as the throw gets away from Castro behind the plate. So Jake in at second, and it's 1-0 D-backs.
He'll definitely do it.
That's one of those sliders, the short, sharp one that breaks late, and Jake's able to stay inside, drive that ball back up the middle of the field. That'll be a base hit and an RBI for Jake Lamb. I think they're giving the air to the center fielder Byron Buxton for his wide throw home, allowing Lamb to move up into scoring position himself.
They are indeed. Single for Lamb. E8 puts Lamb at second base. A run is in, still just 1 out. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. Goldie 319 now at 29 home runs, 95 runs batted in. First pitch slider is a strike. That's the 85-mile-an-hour version from Santana. Goldie begins this series with a 7-game hitting streak. Missed in with a fastball. It's 1-1. Santana averaging 93 miles an hour with that 4-seam fastball. A lot of fastballs, a lot of sliders. In fact, he throws those 2 pitches 70% of the time. It's either one or the other. The rest are either sinkers or changeups. Goldie lays off that hard slider. It's 2-1.
And we touched on it in the open of the show, but this field can really be deceiving. We came up here to the press box and we were looking down at the field, and both of us commented that it kind of reminds you of Coors just a little bit. Big, spacious outfield. But then you go down to field level and watch the guys taking batting practice and regularly reaching the 3rd deck in left field, hitting them over the bleachers in right field, and you realize maybe it's more like Coors than we realized.
Goldie knocks it into right center. This will get Jake Lamb home from second. 2-0 Diamondbacks. RBI single for Paul Goldschmidt. Good start here for the D-backs against Ervin Santana.
Opposite field for David Peralta. Jake Lamb goes up the middle. Paul Goldschmidt goes to the opposite field. Perhaps something that they planned in their advance meeting against Ervin Santana. Look for that pitch out over the plate and go the other way with it.
Well, 3 of the first 4 D-backs hitters had base hits. Here's DESCALSO, the second baseman tonight. 240 and 7 homers. Got that 7th home run yesterday in Houston, his first career inside the park homer. And I saw this and I thought of a story I believe you've told before. It was the D-backs' first inside the park home run on the road since Kelly Stinnett at San Diego in 05. Is that the one where it got tangled up in the chairs and the bench?
I don't recall Kelly's. I know Greg Colburn's cycle in San Diego got hung up underneath the bullpen bench. The extra gloves and balls and bats and cups. And
DESCALSO got the right carom here. It rolled away from Marisnick in center.
I mentioned it yesterday. One thing I really liked about it is Daniel never turned to look at the ball as he was running the bases. Once he turned second base, he picked up Tony Perez-Chica and trusted that Tony was going to do the right thing. And then once Marisnick dropped the ball out there in center field, it made it a pretty easy send for Tony Perez-Chica.
There was a Santana changeup that missed, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. There's Tony, third base coach. Dave McKay coaching at first. Daniel DESCALSO lifts this to right center field. Look how much room there is out there. Byron Buxton has it 2 outs. Torey Lovullo has seen plenty of this ballpark from his American League days, and that hit right there sort of illustrated what he told us. It is really a labor to get it out here to dead center. Torey said the ball flies out to left. It will carry out to right center field. But you really got to muscle it up to get it out here to dead center field. There's a lot of room out there. Chris IANNETTA. Goldie at first, 2 outs, 2 runs in. First pitch slider from Santana. Chris 228, 11 home runs. Had a homer in his start Wednesday night in Houston. So Chris is now homered in 3 of his last 6 games. This is the most, I think, Bob, we've seen one catcher out of the 3 catch in one section of games. Chris has started, well, what, 2 of the last 3, 3 of the last 4? Yeah, he started, 3 of the last 4 games now.
Yeah, with Robbie Ray going on the disabled list after getting hit in the head by that line drive, that's kind of really cut back on Chris Herman's time behind the plate. Herman was the guy that usually caught Robbie Ray. So Jeff Mathis and Chris IANNETTA kind of splitting the time back there, which means they're both going to get a little more playing time.
Yeah, Chris started Tuesday, Wednesday, and today Friday. Mathis was behind the plate yesterday. Well, there's one former league MVP down there at first, and another guy who should be one this year. Two balls and 1 strike. Missed away with a fastball. It's 3-1. Brandon Drury, the DH tonight, is on deck. Fastball up. Base on balls. 2 on and 2 out now for Drury. First walk issued by Ervin Santana. As we told you at the top of the show, JD Martinez was originally in the starting lineup,
But JD is under the weather, feeling a little ill. So AJ Pollock was moved out to center field. Gregor Blanco, who was in center, plays right for Martinez. And Brandon Drury slides into the DH spot tonight. 271 and 9 homers. Here's JD. A little under the weather today. He's played a whole lot here. Of course, former Detroit Tiger from the American League Central. Another first pitch slider from Santana, 0-1. Brandon has RBIs in each of his last 3 games, all starts. Tried another slider and Drury lays off. Bob, looks like Brandon Drury over the last week or so, his at-bats have looked much better.
I think he's seeing the ball a lot better. He was just kind of reacting to the motion of the pitcher there for a while. It got way out in front of some off-speed pitches, got fooled by some fastballs in the strike zone. But yeah, lately it looks like he's just seeing the ball a lot better, laying off the borderline pitches. And when he gets something in the strike zone, he's putting a pretty good pass on it. You have to wonder what Brandon Drury is going to do between at bats.
Go crazy. Take about 100 flips every half inning. Fastball's a strike, and it's 1-2. Brandon is not big on non-baseball related activities, so he'll have to pace in the dugout. They're on their feet here trying to get Santana out of this first inning. About to throw his 25th pitch of the ball game already. 2 runs are in, 2 on and 2 out, 1-2 to Brandon Drury. Lays off a slider and it's 2-2. This is a little uncharacteristic for Ervin Santana. He has given up only 2 earned runs in each of his last 3 starts. Ketel Marte would be next.
I always like these kind of games when you're playing interleague against an opponent that you haven't seen for 3 years. You don't really know a lot about their players. You know a couple of the star players on the other team, but when you jump out to an early lead like this right away, top of the first inning, you know, now these guys are saying, wow, this is a good National League team here. These guys swing the bats. Maybe create a little doubt in the minds of the Twins players before they even take their first at bat in the game.
First time we've had a little shock and awe in a while. Two on, 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 runs in. Santana and Castro just cannot get together. Santana looks very uncomfortable with the fingers he's seeing. Twins brought Jason Castro in from Houston as a free agent this winter. A guy who's always been a very good defensive catcher. There's the skipper, Paul Molitor. Castro got a 3-year deal, about $25 million to take over as the Twins catcher. So here we go to Drury, 2-2. He got his pitch. Drury rolled it up the middle. Dozier, the second baseman, behind the bag. And they get Drury at first, but the Diamondbacks strike first. Zach Godley coming up with an early 2-0 lead.
Minneapolis, Steve Berthew, Bob Brenly, and Todd Walsh with you. 2-0 D-backs, so an early lead for your Ram Truck starter Zack Godley. A 2.95 ERA in 17 starts, but Zack coming off a loss to the Cubs his last time out Sunday at Chase Field.
Yeah, didn't pitch poorly in that game. Gave up only 4 hits in 5 2/3, 2 earned runs. He did strike out 8 Cubs batters. He's kind of been a tough luck guy himself in the Diamondbacks rotation this year. Has pitched much better than his numbers indicate.
Let's look at the Twins lineup. It's presented by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Brian Dozier will lead it off at second base. Max Kepler will be the right fielder. Joe Mauer down at first base. Miguel Sano at third base. Eddie Rosario will be out in left field. Eduardo Escobar is the DH tonight with Byron Buxton in center. Jorge Polanco at short. Jason Castro catching, and Irvin Santana on the mound.
First pitch fastball from Godley is in there, and it's 0-1 on Dozier. Hitting .256. He's got power, 23 homers. And has really hit the ball well lately. D-backs don't put a shift on here, but Dozier is a dead pull hitter. He loves to yank it to left.
Yes, he is a dead pull hitter. And watch that backside. Even when he takes pitches, the front shoulder and the front elbow go up and the backside drops down. He's looking to lift something in the air to left field every pitch.
Here's the Godley curveball. He throws it for a strike that time, and it's 1-2. And we've seen a lot lately when Zack Godley gets a hitter when a 2-strike count, that curveball is coming. That was it right there. He got a piece. It's been remarkable, Bob, how consistent Zack has thrown that curveball in 2-strike counts. It almost, you would think, makes him predictable, but he's still just as successful with it as he's ever been.
Yeah, if you keep it down, execute your pitch, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming. You put it down there around the knees with some downward movement, even if they hit it, it's going to be on the ground somewhere.
Missed with a cutter that time, and it's 2-2. Fastball missed the mark, and it's full. Max Kepler with a big home run in one of the games against the Indians here last night is on deck. Twins played a doubleheader versus Cleveland yesterday. They split. Called strike 3. Looks at a curveball, and Godley rings him up. A look at the Diamondbacks defense. That's presented by Nationwide Vision Centers.
David Peralta will be in right field. A.J. Pollock in center. Gregor Blanco over in left field. It'll be Lamb and Marte on the left side of the infield, with Descalso and Goldschmidt on the right side. Chris Iannetta behind the plate tonight for right-hander Zack Godley.
I'm glad you said that, because I had it backwards.
That's why I had to look up. Usually I just read them off the book, but I didn't make all the appropriate changes after JD scratched.
It was a scramble. Kepler, 253, 15 homers. His home run last night was a big one for the Twins. Broke up a 2-2 tie in the 7th inning as they salvaged a doubleheader split with Cleveland here yesterday and last night. They'd had a rainout earlier in that series. Kepler not hitting a whole lot lately, but he does have 5 home runs this month. Good fastball there from Godley.
Yeah, this might be a challenge for Zack Godley. Max Kepler, we're told, is a dead low ball hitter. Loves that ball down around the knees, maybe even a little lower.
Belts it over the mound. Ketel Marte spins and throws. He got him. Ketel Marte at shortstop for the D-backs. 2 down.
Hard hit ball looked like it might sneak up the middle of the field, but Marte shaded that direction a little bit, gets to it with a couple of steps and a slide, and then unleashes that strong throwing arm to first base for the out.
Joe Mauer. Hard to imagine the Minnesota Twins without Joe Mauer. 283 and 6 homers. 6-time All-Star. Won 3 Gold Gloves behind the plate. He's won 3 batting titles. He's been an American League MVP.
Belts that one into right. A 2-out single. Mauer's aboard. Boy, Mauer had 5 hits in their doubleheader yesterday against Cleveland, and he's 1 for 1 so far tonight. Big Miguel Sano. And this guy can put on a show. 263, leads the Twins with 26 homers, 74 RBIs. Both those numbers already career highs. 6'4", 260. And he can get into one every now and then. There's also this. No player in baseball has struck out more often this year than Miguel Sano. He's got a whole bunch of swing and miss.
He's number 1.
He sure is. But when he connects, look out. Fastball in, 2-0. He is striking out 36% of the time this year, just ahead of Aaron Judge. You're striking out more than Joey Gallo. Something's wrong.
Top 2 guys on that list both participated in the home run derby, the All-Star festivities this year. I know people like to point at that and attribute second half failure to participating in the home run derby, but it seemed to bother Giancarlo Stanton very much.
It made him better, if that's possible. Look out. Well, Godley threw a 2-0 curveball, then went fastball, gets back even 2-2. Now he's got Sano set up for a big swing and miss with that curveball if he wants it. Godley's curveball getting more swings and misses than any curveball in the major leagues almost. Tried it, but Sano laid off, and it's full 3-2. A little too far outside the strike zone that time. Eddie Rosario, one of the more interesting young Twins players, is on deck. We'll get a look at him all weekend long. It's a very young, athletic Twins team. Mauer takes off with a pitch, and Sano takes a cutter. That broke a little too far outside the strike zone for Ted Barrett's liking. So a single and a walk against Godley, both with 2 outs. And here's Rosario.
Yeah, just a little too much cut that time. Of course, when a guy has a reputation like Sano does of being a free swinger and chasing pitches in 2 strike counts, that's where you should throw that pitch. You don't want to bite off too much strike zone and have him satellite one and tie the game.
Rosario having a nice season, 297, 16 homers. Really hitting the ball well right now. He's got a 7-game hitting streak. 2 outs, Mauer at second and Sano at first. A 20-pitch first already for Zach Godley.
Yeah, Rosario was named American League Player of the Week after hitting .444. He scored 10 runs, 3 doubles, 4 homers, 9 RBIs in 7 games.
Homered twice during that 7-game hit streak. Zach had the opportunity to use that cutter against the left-hand batter, and he got a strike 1 with it. On the ground right to DESCALSO at second, and Zach Godley sprints off the mound here in Minnesota. He strands 2 and keeps it 2-0 Diamondbacks.
after all. That's the handiwork of our director, Phil the Iron Horse Malika. Hey, D-backs fans, if you can't watch the games on TV, don't worry, stream them live. Just use your mobile device. Check out Fox Sports Go. It's presented by your Valley Honda dealers. It's a free app. You can download the app, take Fox Sports Arizona, and the D-backs with you wherever you go. Ketel Marte fouls off the first pitch from Irvin Santana here in the second.
Phil's here again. It's not like him to work 3 days in a row.
I know. Well, he's had to put in for some real overtime. Trying to get that approved.
Work.
See if you can make a call and move that up the chain of command. Yeah, he did a whole series almost by himself last time. He's exhausted. 0-2. Marte, boy, that batting average keeps going up. 295 now, 4 homers. He tripled yesterday in Houston and hit safely in all 4 games of that series against the Astros. Got the corner with his fastball, and Ted Barrett rings up Ketel Marte. First strikeout for Santana.
As you said, not a lot of surprises with Santana. It's just a question of when he's going to throw which one of his 2 favorite pitches, the fastball and the slider. He will occasionally mix in some of his other secondary pitches, but it's pretty much a 2-pitch mix.
Yeah, that wasn't even on the corner. That was a fastball down the middle that Ketel got caught looking. Gregor Blanco. Now, just to confirm, he's the left fielder, right?
Yes.
We switched that about 3 times today. So Blanco in left and Peralta in right, Pollock in center. Gregor 238, 3 homers. And it's been tough for Blanco. We've mentioned this lately. Just trying to get at bats. He's 2 for 24 in August. Played a lot in May, a lot in June while A.J. Pollock was out. Here's Dozier at second base. 2 down. David Peralta in the leadoff spot. He singled and scored to start us off tonight. RBI singles by Jake Lamb and Paul Goldschmidt. Those were the 2 guys that you pointed out at the top of the show. Driving in some runs.
The run producers.
Lifted in the air toward the left field corner. Rosario out there. It's still going, and it's gone. David Peralta takes one out to left field. That's his 13th, and it's 3-0 Diamondbacks. That's got to be about the 5th or 6th time that Peralta has hit a home run just like that this year. One that slices to left and just carries just enough to get out.
Yeah, no sense wasting anything. Just hit him far enough. That ball hit right off the top of the fence, up and over. We mentioned you can get some cheapies down both the right and left field line. Right off the top of the fence up into the bleachers.
Jumbo Jack, a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. A.J. Pollock looks at a slider. 13th of the year for the freight train, David Peralta. A.J. grounded out his first time up tonight. So Irvin Santana quickly in a 3-0 hole. He has been much more hittable since the beginning of June. He got off to a great start this year. But in his last 13 starts, Santana's only 5-5, and his ERA in those 13 starts is 4.76. Reaches out, swing and bunt, and it rolls foul. Santana makes sure.
You just have to touch it. You don't necessarily have to touch it with your glove or your hand. That time the ball just trickled into foul territory, and Santana tried to kick a field goal into the third base dugout. Yeah, why bend over? Might hurt your back. Just kick it out of bounds. There you go.
Well, now that the Premier League has started up again.
Yeah, you never know.
Maybe he can replace Wayne Rooney over at Manchester United.
Rooney's gone?
Hey, he's back at Everton now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Why does this feel like a Game of Thrones conversation? Now that we're north of the wall. Pollock bangs a single into center. Diamondbacks have brought their bats to Minnesota.
That ball trying to work its way off the outside corner. Watch Jason Castro behind the plate reaching all the way across, and AJ intercepts it and lines it into center field right over the base.
Two-out base runner for Jake Lamb. Jake had an RBI single and scored a run his first time up. Nice to see the D-backs get that running game started too. It's been a little quiet lately. Fastball's a strike and it's 0-1.
AJ tried to steal a base in the first inning yesterday in Houston, got thrown out by Max Stassi on a very close play at second base. Yeah, I'm with you. I like it when they're aggressive on the bases. Get the right guys on, the right guys up.
We'll see one of the best base stealers in the American League when Byron Buxton gets up there, the center fielder. Buxton has tremendous speed. He's stolen 21 bags this year. He's been caught only one time. 1-1 on Lamb. Well, maybe Irvin Santana thinking along with us. Fastball away. 1-2. Well, these Twins fans, they get into it here. They get 2 strikes, 2 outs on an opposing hitter, and they're trying to make some noise here at Target Field. Rod Carew bobblehead night here tonight. Rod Carew is here talking about organ transplants. One saved his life not too long ago, the great Twins player. Fastball's up, and it's 2-2. They're having a Michael Kadire bobblehead night here tomorrow night as they elect some members into the Twins Hall of Fame. There is the great Rod Carew's number 29. There's a lovely statue of Rod Carew right outside the main entrance here to Target Field.
Now, Rod Carew is really good at a lot of things, but far and away the best bunter I ever saw. He was amazing. I've told the story in the past in a spring training game over in Tempe one day. We got there very early to take batting practice in Tempe, and this was 3 hours before game time. Rod Carew was on one of the backfields, had a coach lay a hula hoop halfway between home plate and third base, and he bunted one after another right into the hula hoop.
It's interesting because the Arizona Fall League does the exact same thing in the Bowman Hitting Challenge every year. You start off by trying to bunt some balls into hula hoops, and almost no one can do it.
No. I'd bet on Rod Carew to this day against any competition.
Full count to Jake Lamb, 3-2. 2 outs. Pollock the runner at first. Now we're playing behind AJ. Goldie would be next. There goes Pollock. Jake Lamb swinging a miss on a Santana slider, but the Diamondbacks get one more. David Peralta slices one toward the left field corner and got just enough of it. His 13th of the year. 3-0 D-backs.
Lead for right-hander Zach Godley as Eduardo Escobar, the DH tonight, leads off the home half of the second for Minnesota. Fastball got away from Zach. Escobar, 256, 10 homers. He's a switch hitter. He's about a 240 hitter as a left-hand batter, but he can take it deep from both sides of the plate. Bounced foul. Down there in front of first base coach Jeff Smith. Escobar started both games of Minnesota's doubleheader yesterday here against the Indians. They split. He DH'd one game, played third base in the other, had 4 hits. A couple of doubles. He knocked in 3 runs. And it was a big day for Eduardo Escobar because he went into the doubleheader stuck in a 1-for-26 skid. So he broke out big time. Lays off the curveball, and it's 2-2. Byron Buxton, he's a really fun player to watch. He's on deck. And there's the curveball. Godley throwing that for strikes tonight rather than swings and misses. And he's got his second strikeout.
I think that's an important way to go about it. Establish that you will throw that curveball for strikes, and then the second time through the order you can maybe lead the Twins hitters out of the zone with that pitch.
Well, I told I mean, nobody had a better curveball than Bert Blyleven.
Yeah.
And he asked me, does he throw it for strikes? I said, no, he just gets guys to chase. So Bert's over there going, what was that guy talking about? Byron Buxton swinging a miss at that cut fastball. A lot of cutters so far, first time through the order from Zach. Buxton, 234, 7 homers. He homered here yesterday in one of the doubleheader games against Cleveland. This is a highly touted young player, still only 23 years old. A guy of whom much was expected, and he's starting to live up to it. The bat has come around nicely, and he has made some spectacular defensive plays in center field this year. Really good defender. He can go get it out there. Starts tonight with a 7-game hitting streak. Curveball missed. It's 3-1.
I was listening to Twins manager Paul Molitor on a pregame show on the radio when I was in the men's room a little while ago, and he was talking about Buxton. He thinks he's just gotten to a point where he knows who to listen to and who not to listen to. As you can imagine, when you're a young, talented player, and this guy is some kind of talented, everybody has advice for you. Everybody has a swing change that'll help you be a better hitter, or you need to bunt more, you need to do this, you need to switch hit. He was trying to listen to everybody.
He gets this in the air, left center field, and this is trouble. Buxton can really fly. And he's in at third, standing up. Second triple this year for Byron Buxton, deepest part of the ballpark. 411 out there in left center. This is a really good young player.
And do not mishandle the relay throw back to the infield. He was long striding around those bases. Went down and got a curveball, just kind of an abbreviated half swing, but drives it out there near the 411 mark in left center. I mean, that is about as easy a triple as you will see. Man.
He was the second overall pick in the 2012 draft out of high school in Baxley, Georgia. He was taken 1 pick after Houston selected Carlos Correa. Here's the shortstop, Jorge Polanco. Another switch hitter, 241 and 3 homers. He's not hit a lot this year, but he's having a big month of August. He has suddenly broke out here. 413 in 13 games this month. And he belts that to the right field corner. That's going to get to the wall. Buxton will score. It's 3-1 Minnesota. RBI double for Jorge Polanco.
Held high pitch up and out over the plate. imagine anytime Zach gets a pitch up there around the belt against this Twins offense, they're going to be ready to hack at it. He's got a reputation of being a low ball pitcher, both the fastball and curveball down in the zone. If they see anything up, I expect them to swing at it.
So a 1-out triple by Buxton, followed by the RBI's double by Polanco. It's a 3-1 ball game, and here's the number 9 hitter, the catcher Jason Castro. 230 and 6 home runs. First pitch curveball, steals strike 1. Castro, former Astros catcher. He spent his first 6 seasons with Houston. And the Twins decided right away that he was going to be a free agent target. They gave him a 3-year, $25 million deal. Good defensive catcher, occasional power. Swing and a miss. Got the cutter, and it's 0-2. A lot of cut fastballs from Godley the first time through the order, especially against those left-hand batters. Curveball down and away is low. Castro lays off 1-2. Talking with Torey Lovullo about Chris Iannetta's defense before the game today. You know, he said, hey, we didn't sign Chris Iannetta really until the middle of January, and they asked him to recommit to defense. He's done that. Torey said, this guy's been a gift. He's really had a nice year back there.
And it sounds like Chris Iannetta is one of the speak up in the clubhouse guys as well. If something needs to be said, Chris seems to be the guy willing to do it.
Another cut fastball to the lefty from Godley, and he gets his 3rd strikeout.
Another pitch up there around the belt, got away with that one. You could sneak up there above the belt every now and again, preferably considerably above the belt, up near the top of the zone. You just don't want to consistently pitch up there in the strike zone.
Well, you cannot miss up there against Brian Dozier, because he will take you deep. The run is home. Polanco at second, 2 outs. Another first pitch curveball from Zach, 0-1. Dozier hitting the ball well lately. He's batting just about .360 in his last 13 games. And he's got 6 home runs over that span. .40 pitches for Godley, 23 strikes. Doubled up on the curveball, and he's ahead 0-2. Dozier taking those home run swings. He's had at least 20 home runs each of the last 4 years, including this one. Nice block there by Chris Iannetta. That's something that Chris has worked on a lot lately. In fact, yesterday he was working on blocking drills. It's something that he asked for, so Chris is soliciting the extra work, and he's really done a good job this year blocking balls just like that. Got him. Went to the cut fastball. Zach Godley, 4 strikeouts. Twins get a run back. It's 3-1 Diamondbacks. on the road trip. We're in Minnesota, where they lead the Twins 3-1. What's next? Brought to you by CenturyLink. Really good pitching matchup for you tomorrow. Zach Greinke for the Diamondbacks. Jose Barrios for Minnesota. Outstanding young rookie, 10-5. Diamondback Live pregame show at, let's see, 4 o'clock tomorrow. We have weird start times in this series. So D-Backs Live on Fox Sports Arizona comes your way at 4 o'clock tomorrow. And a 4:35 first pitch Arizona time. Well, Goldschmidt, an RBI single, his first at bat tonight. Speaking of D-Backs fans, I ran into somebody in the concourse here at beautiful Target Field. One of our Golden Glovers.
Really?
Karen Howlin Wolf is here.
Yeah.
Made the trip out. She was walking around wearing her D-Backs jersey, her D-Backs cap.
Maybe.
She ran me down there on the concourse, and we had a lovely chat. She's here to check out the park as Goldie strikes out.
Well, maybe she was doing some advanced scouting on their foul ball retrievers down the line.
I'm sure she's keeping an eye on them, you know, knowing the professional that Karen is. So it's great to see Karen Wolf here watching the Diamondbacks.
If I'm not mistaken, Karen is a free agent at season's end,
Well,
so maybe she's being courted by the Twins.
We won't drive up the price. Give her leverage, and all of a sudden, you may be onto something, though. Twins may have scouted her. Need somebody with better range down there. Karen can get to anything.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Weber is here as always, watching the Diamondbacks. Jim was in Houston as well. He's here someplace. This really is a lovely ballpark, and it's so weird to come somewhere where it's about 70 degrees and it's nice and cool. It's just lovely here tonight.
As long as the weather's nice, this is a great ballpark.
50 pitches for Santana, 32 strikes. Well, when they were building it back in the day, I think they figured out it was going to cost $600 million. And with a roof, it would have been $900 million, and they just didn't have the money.
Yeah, what's another $300 million? Come on.
But this is a beautiful, spacious, open ballpark right in downtown Minneapolis. 3-1.
I'll tell you what, we are spoiled at Chase Field. I mean, years ago when the Houston Astrodome was the home of the Astros and Bob Lillis was their manager for a couple years, later came over to the San Francisco Giants, and they used to talk about what an advantage it was to have that roof. Now, obviously in Houston, because of the temperatures and occasional rainstorms, but you know what time you're going to hit every day. You know what time the first pitch of the game is going to be every day, and nothing changes that. And we have that luxury at Chase Field as well.
Full count, 3-2. Oh, Ted Barrett rings him up. A slider from Santana. And DESCALSO does not agree.
Close, right off that outside corner.
See, for me, and again, if it's borderline, you can't go nuts. It was a hair outside, but.
Once again, though, the thing about that particular pitch, a breaking ball. So it started more in the right-handed batter's box, and the late break brought it almost back to the outside corner. So technically, it was never in the strike zone.
Only when he caught it.
Only when he caught it.
When it went by the hitter.
And I'm sure that was part of Daniel's argument there to Ted Barrett.
Ted Barrett is an excellent umpire. Crew chief with the balls and strikes tonight. I'll never forget being in a fall league game one night when Ted Barrett and Jim Reynolds were going to work the World Series. They hadn't worked at all in the postseason, so they'd been off for 3 or 4 weeks, and they were in the bullpen at fall league games, just watching guys warm up just to get that eye back. And I thought, wow, those guys are really professionals. Gonna work the World Series, haven't worked in a while, so let's just go watch some pitches. They were down there in the bullpens at Salt River Field in a fall league game, just crouched behind bullpen catchers, just watching guys throw.
Just get their eyes back up to speed again, get used to tracking pitches in the 90s, upper 90s at times.
It was pretty impressive. Slider from Santana, who strikes out the side. He got Goldie, DESCALSO, IANNETTA. 3-1 D-backs.
We couldn't resist. We have to flash back one last time to all 3 inside the park home runs this year for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Ketel Marte, David Peralta, and Daniel Descalso. And you see the running time on all 3 guys. Had a little time in the truck this afternoon. Our outstanding crew did a great job.
Kepler gets into one, and look out. Wow, upper tank Max Kepler, who homered here last night. He's got his 16th of the year off Zach Godley to lead off the Minnesota third. And suddenly it's a 3-2 ball game. That's his 6th home run this month, Max Kepler.
We were told earlier he's a low ball hitter. That one's up around the belt. That ball went way out of here into the second deck out there in right center field.
That's where the ball will carry in this ballpark, to left field and to right center. And Kepler got every bit of that one. Here's Joe Mauer. Now, Todd, he did not have to sprint around the bases there.
No, he did not. If I could, my goodness, that was a bold stop to the inside the park home run video. But I will tell you guys, I brought that video into the Diamondbacks clubhouse earlier today on the iPhone, and had Descalso, Peralta, and Marte all huddled together as they watched themselves run around the bases. And to no one's surprise, Ketel,
oh boy, he can really
left
run
the field. Yeah,
but you know, Peralta was he was kind of watching it there for a minute. He got a slow start because he thought he hit it out, and he almost did.
He reminded me of that.
I bet he did.
And Daniel wanted no part. I said Daniel had the bronze medal, and he said that's because I lost and walked away. But here's the really interesting thing. I also talked to Patrick Corbin. He did not know, Steve, until I showed him the video, that he was pitching during all 3 of those.
Is that nuts or what?
He had no idea.
Somebody told me that the other day. Neither did we. That's crazy. That's weird, wild stuff.
And a coincidence?
That is not irony. That is coincidence.
Okay.
You are correct, sir.
Wanted to make sure of that.
Coincidence and irony police.
Thank you.
By the way, I have a journalistic assignment for you.
Okay.
I know you have a busy schedule.
I do.
Last time we were here, September 2014, my wife Cindy went to center field.
Okay.
And they sell out there buckets of donuts.
Oh, okay.
And Tom Candiotti went through an entire bucket in one game last year. Last time we were here 3 years ago.
A bucket of donuts.
They sell them by the bucket, and they're unbelievable.
Chances are they won't make it back, but I'll get them before the series is out.
Now, if you want to classify that as journalism, that's your call.
No, it's joy, is what it is.
Just don't bring back any of that Lutka fish.
I will not bring walleye on a stick anywhere near here.
Nice
Strikeout.
Lauer's rung up 5 strikeouts for Godley, and now Ted Barrett's got another fan back there.
Well, we do have a day game on Sunday, so
donuts.
That might be called for. Very similar to the slider that Daniel Descalso was called out on.
Yeah, because they have the rhubarb here. That's big.
Yeah, that's
Garrison Keeler and the whole thing.
Yeah, cobbler, I saw peach cobbler down in the meal room tonight.
And I'm telling you, the bucket of donuts, man.
A bucket of
donuts.
donuts. How many donuts are we talking? We're not talking donut
Not
holes,
enough,
right?
Not enough. No, the real thing.
Okay.
Miguel Sano, he's probably had a bucket or 2 in his day. Well, the dude is 6'4", 260.
Should I say that Cindy sent me, or Steve, or?
She was actually going to come out for this series just to get the bucket of donuts. They're that good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to know.
See, Teresa in our booth here is agreeing, and she's here every game.
Well, I swiped one of the Wetzel's pretzels that was on its way to your booth the other day. There was one shy.
I heard about that, by the way.
88 Fingers Louie was in there and out.
That's a good Flintstones reference.
Thank you.
Right
Thank
there.
you very much.
Happy anniversary.
There you go. All right, I'm on it. Donuts.
I'm just saying, if there's some journalistic issue out there that needs coverage, while you're out there, you may want to pick up a bucket of donuts.
Another monkey on my back, but I'm on it.
Are the Wild any good? Are they still the Wild, the hockey team here?
You know what?
That's a dumb name.
Yeah, they stole the Coyotes goaltender a few years ago and had a heck of a run. And it's one of the great facilities in all of hockey, guys. There's a swing and miss.
Sano strikes out.
Yes,
he leads the majors in strikeouts.
If you are a hockey fan and you want to make the rounds around the National Hockey League, get to the XL Energy Center in St. Paul. The Coyotes rink in Glendale, in part designed from that, and it's a lot like this place with the open concourses. I think it sort of changed the way hockey arenas and facilities were built.
I'm still upset because I thought the North Stars had a great logo with the N and the star.
They did.
And my second favorite goalie of all time, as you know,
Cesar,
is Cesar Maniago, which is the greatest goalie name ever. Right behind Gilles Gilbert.
I'm still a Bill Goldsworthy guy.
Good call.
And I like the Fighting Saints. I'm sure Bob was a big fan of the WHLA back in the day.
Is that a thing?
Is that Game of Thrones?
Oh, no. Eddie Rosario knocks one into right center field, and that reaches the wall. Two-out double for Rosario, is 26th of the year. This is another good-looking young hitter here the Twins have.
Nice pass that time by Rosario. Nice quick swing, drives that ball into the gap out there in right center field. It's raining extra base hits here tonight at Target Field.
The Twins had a triple and a double in the second. Now a home run and a double here in the third. Rosario at second base, 2 down. Eduardo Escobar, the DH. Our thanks to Todd Walsh. Just gave more work. He's already got a long list. Escobar struck out, looking to lead off the second. Godley has 6 strikeouts already. He's walked 1.
Yeah, the one walk in the game for Zach Godley almost looked like a pitch around with 2 outs in that first inning. Had a base open facing Miguel Sano and just didn't want to give in to him. He ended up walking him there, but got Rosario to ground to second base to end that first inning.
Godley about to throw pitch number 60 here, trying to get out of this third. Chased a curveball with 2 strikes, 7 strikeouts through 3 innings for Zach Godley. But the D-backs lead is cut to 3-2. There they are, bucket of donuts here at Target Field. Here at Target Field, it's a 3-2 Diamondbacks lead as we start the 4th. D-backs fans, don't forget to stop by your local Fry's and stock up on your favorite Pepsi products using your VIP card. You'll earn valuable D-backs rewards points that you can exchange for merchandise and game experiences. A reminder, Pepsi is the official soft drink of your Arizona Diamondbacks. Urban Santana struck out the side in the third. He has punched out the last 4 Diamondbacks he's faced after a rough start. And Brandon Drury leads off the 4th. Diamondbacks got 2 in the first against Santana. RBI singles by Jake Lamb and Paul Goldschmidt. They led 3-0 at one point after Peralta hit a solo homer in the second. But the Twins have answered. Jorge Polanco with an RBI double after Byron Buxton tripled. And then Max Kepler led off the third with a home run, his 16th of the year, so it's 3-2. 1-2 on Brandon Drury, who grounded out his first time up tonight. D-backs lead at 3-2, each team with 5 hits. Minnesota has 4 extra base hits. 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. One thing about this ballpark you notice right away, you get it in the gaps here and you can run a long way. Got some big outfield gaps here at Target Field. Buxton hit his triple to the deepest part of the park and sort of left centerish, 411 out there. Drury chases a high fastball. That's 5 consecutive strikeouts for Urban Santana.
Yeah, led Brandon right out of the strike zone up that time. 4-seam fastball up there around the letters with 2 strikes. Too tempting to take. Got to be really quick to get on top of that one.
Ketel Marte struck out looking his first time up tonight. Sano will come in 1 step on the grass at third. There's a strike. Lays off a high fastball and it's 1-1. Ketel Marte has reached base safely now in a career high 17 straight games. He had base hits in all 4 games this week against the Astros. Lifts this in the air, left center field. Rosario's over there with Buxton. And Rosario runs that down in left center.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
2 down for Gregor Blanco. Grounded out to second base back in the second inning. D-backs tied with Colorado for that first National League wild card spot. Both teams 67 and 54 on the year. Brewers only 4.5 out of an NL wild card spot. St. Louis is 5 back. In the air to third. Sano's under that one. And Urban Santana has really settled in. He's retired 7 straight. But the D-backs lead at 3-2. In Minnesota, where the D-backs lead the Twins 3-2. Hey fans, don't forget postseason play is coming up. It's right around the corner. Don't miss your opportunities to secure postseason tickets. You can do so by buying or renewing your Diamondbacks season tickets. You'll get all the benefits of being a D-backs season ticket holder. Plus, you'll get priority for the best postseason seats. Get all the information you need right now. dbacks.com/advantage. Diamondbacks 2018 season tickets on sale right now. You can design your own plan, come up with one that's just right for you. You can pick different series. You can say, oh, you know, I just want to do weekends. They'll give you a weekend season ticket plan. You can do a half season if one full season is too much. Or I loved your idea of going all in, full Diamondback season tickets with some of your buddies and having a ticket draft.
Yeah, friends and family, neighbors go together, have a little party, have your draft, pick the games that you want over the course of the season, and split them up.
Byron Buxton tripled and scored in the second. It's 3-0 from Godley. There's a strike. So check that out. Get postseason priority, fans. dbacks.com/advantage. You can get all the information and all the advantages of becoming a Diamondback season ticket holder in 2018. 3-2 now. Godley has walked one so far. He's got 7 strikeouts. Buxton drives this deep center field. A.J. Pollock will play it off the wall, and this is trouble. Buxton can really run. They're going to wave him home. Here's the relay, and he is safe. It's an inside the park home run for Byron Buxton. He's hit a triple, and he's hit an inside the park homer in 2 at-bats tonight. That was trouble the moment it caromed away from A.J. Pollock out there in center.
A.J. got a little too close to the wall out there where it's angled back toward center field. Thought he had a play on that ball as he got back to the wall, but it hit high off the wall, got by him, and we saw Buxton running on that triple. He's just as fast now. Man, can he run.
3-3 ball game. Diamondbacks led at 1.3-0. There's Jorge Polanco, who had an RBI double his last time. Look, there's the strike. Well, we were told Byron Buxton's bat was really coming around lately, and they weren't kidding. A triple and an inside the park homer.
I'll tell you, a lot of major league ballparks, that ball flies over the fence. It's out there at the 403 mark, and it hit high on that extended fence up above the 403 mark.
There's a lot of room in the alleys and the gaps here in this ballpark. It's a big yard. Well, we thought we might have to slug it out with these guys, play some American League style baseball, and they've had a whole bunch of offense through 4 innings. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Twins, 3 runs, 5 hits for the Diamondbacks. And Godley already through 3+ innings at 70 pitches, 41 for strikes. Ouch. That one bit Polanco. I understand that Todd Walsh is out there somewhere on assignment. Todd, where are you?
Listen, guys, I'm embedded out here on the concourse. I just want you to know there's a line of about 30 people deep for your donuts.
I told you.
It's moving brisk, but
well, you have other responsibilities.
I'm a little shy. I got $8 on me. The bucket of donuts is about 15.
Well, can we expense that?
I'm going to talk to a guy.
Sure.
I'm going to talk to a guy and see what I can do. There's some Diamondback fans in line, and you know.
I told you those bucket of donuts are big here.
It'll cost you.
Always does.
All right, I'm on it.
I thought maybe if Todd happened to be out there, he'd check it out. I know he's got other things to do.
He went straight there. And I don't blame him.
We'll count on Jorge Polanco, the Twins shortstop, 3-2.
I would suggest that Todd go ahead and get in line so we get our donuts for Sunday morning.
Might have to camp out like Springsteen tickets. Second walk of the ball game issued by Zach Godley. Here's the catcher, Jason Castro. Castro struck out his first time up. Right to Descalso at second. Marte for one, and they roll it. Quickly 2 down. Bring up Brian Dozier, who has struck out twice so far tonight, the leadoff man.
I think Dozier's a little bit taller, but his swing is very reminiscent of Dustin Pedroia, another small of stature second baseman that swings hard and tries to elevate the ball.
It's a good call. Dozier checks in at 5'11", 200 pounds. I think Petey's a little more 5'9"-ish. Dozier was reportedly a highly coveted offseason trade target. Dodgers were linked to Dozier all last winter. But the asking price was reportedly up there. You can understand why. He's a really good player.
42 bombs last year. If you can get 42 home runs from your second baseman, you're in pretty good shape.
99 runs batted in. Everybody wanted Dozier. But the Dodgers couldn't make the deal happen, so they moved on and acquired Logan Forsythe from the Tampa Bay Rays instead. They really wanted to get a right-hand hitting second baseman. So Dozier's still here. 8th round pick by the Twins back in '09 out of Southern Miss. He grew up in Fulton, Mississippi. Swing and a miss, and he struck out 3 times tonight against Zach Godley. But the Twins have come back to tie the ball game up. It's 3-3. Race at Target Field, the Cox high-speed highlights apropos when you watch Mosquito the Mosquito, but look out for Louie the Loon on the outside. And Louie the Loon is nipped at the wire by Mosquito the Mosquito. There's Babe the Blue Ox. The Target dog is also involved in this fiasco. And
there was also a fish involved that I think just kind of ran off the track and decided not to finish the race.
Probably, I think it was a walleye. You would know.
was unrecognizable. I've never caught anything quite like that before.
David Peralta, the leadoff man, leads off the 5th in what is now a brand new ball game. Peralta sends this out to center for Buxton. The Diamondbacks had a 3-0 lead at one point, but the Twins have answered with 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, and 1 in the 4th. And in the meantime, Ervin Santana, who looked like he could be in for a short night, has now set down 8 straight. And A.J. Pollock is the hitter. A.J. is grounded out and single. Here's that Santana slider, 0-1. Ervin Santana got off to a tremendous start this year. He won his first 3 starts, and in those first 3 starts, he gave up a total of 5 hits. And in his 3rd start of the year, April 15th, a 1-hit shutout of the White Sox here at Target Field. Santana didn't lose a game until May the 7th, and by the end of May, he was 7-2. His ERA was 1.75, and he'd already thrown 3 shutouts. He was on his way to the All-Star game.
5 complete games on the season already, leads the majors in that category.
How valuable are guys like this? I mean, you look at Ervin Santana, okay, he's been an All-Star once or twice, and he's a guy, he's been around, but how valuable are guys like this who eat up innings?
Oh, I mean, ask any manager, you know, if you've got bullpen issues, if you've got a couple of starting pitchers that struggle to get deep into the ball game, you really appreciate a guy like Santana even more. Gives that bullpen basically a day off when he goes out there to take the mound. Going to give you a chance to win just about every time he takes the ball, and that's really all you can ask from a starting pitcher.
Signed out of the Dominican Republic by the Angels back in 2000. 1-2 to Pollock. This is lifted in the air to Kepler in right field. 9 straight set down by Santana. Ervin Santana, first 8 seasons with Anaheim. He won 16 games twice. Won 17 games back in 2010. Spent a year in Kansas City, 1 year in Atlanta, and now in his 3rd season with the Minnesota Twins.
I mean, it really changes the way a manager and a pitching coach will maneuver through their bullpen in the day before and after a start by Santana, knowing that he's probably going to get you deep into the ball game, so maybe we can burn an extra relief pitcher or 2 on the day before, the day after.
Squib shot, Santana backhands it, plants and throws, and it's another 1-2-3 inning. Ervin Santana has retired 10 straight Diamondbacks. It's 3-3 at Target Field.
D-backs and Twins tied at 3 as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Time to take a look at this day in baseball history, brought to you by Geico, one of the great two-way players in the game. Micah Owings for the Arizona Diamondbacks back in '07, hit 2 homers, a double and a single, drove in 6, scored 4, and pitched 7 innings of 3-hit baseball. A 12-6 Diamondbacks victory over the Atlanta Braves.
Now that is a complete game.
Do it all. Drove the team bus back to the hotel after the game.
Max Kepler and a long home run upper tank in right center his last time up. His second home run in as many games, his 16th of the year. This is another intriguing young Twins player, only 24 years old. Good power hitter from the left-hand side. Max Kepler signed by the Twins in '09 out of Germany. He was born in Berlin. He's fluent in 4 languages, went to John F. Kennedy High School in Berlin. His parents, this is not a military situation, they were both professional ballet dancers in Berlin. Guy speaks 4 languages, pretty impressive.
He's a good tennis player. He got a tennis scholarship to the Steffi Graf Tennis Foundation in Berlin.
Wound up playing in the Baseball Bundesliga, which is the highest baseball league in Germany. That's where the Twins found him. It's a very interesting guy. Baseball growing all over the world. World Baseball Classic has done a lot of that. It's big in Brazil now. We've seen some Brazilian players. Max Kepler from Germany. Goldie's got it at first. From what I understand, Max Kepler's mom was from Texas and his dad was from Poland. So they met while they were ballet dancers, and he grew up in Berlin, Germany. Now here he is in Minneapolis playing baseball. Phil Mauer. Mauer has singled, struck out, 1 for 2. Coming off a 5-hit day in the Twins doubleheader here yesterday against the Indians. They split the double dip after a rainout earlier this week.
I think the Twins had lost every game here at home against the Indians until that second game of the doubleheader yesterday.
We swept the Indians. Second series of the year back home at Chase Field. 1-1 on Mauer. Joe Mauer, not much power anymore. It's been that way for a while now. He's homered only twice since June 2nd. Only 4 home runs here at Target Field all year. Lays off a changeup. Mauer's power is primarily left field. That's where he used to hit most of his home runs back at the old Metrodome. He would hit home runs the other way out to left, but here at Target Field, it's a little deeper out there. So when Mauer was hitting home runs at the Dome, those balls now at Target Field are caught at the warning track, and so his home run numbers have really been affected by this ballpark.
You know, I was talking to Ron Gardenhire before the ball game. Of course, he managed in this ballpark, and he said when it was initially built, you couldn't shoot it out of here with a cannon anywhere. He said the ball just didn't carry. But there's a theory out there that once the concrete around the ballpark, you know, the base underneath the seats, underneath the bleachers out in right and left field, he said once the concrete had settled, there's a term for it. I can't think of what it is right off the top of my mind. Cured. Once the concrete had cured, the ball started to carry better. Now, I'm not sure what the relationship is, but Ron Gardenhire would know.
He managed the Twins for 13 seasons, won more than 1,000 games as the Twins manager. Mauer strikes out for the second time tonight. 9 strikeouts for Zach Godley.
Hey, fans, the day after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
Miguel Sano, he can hit some homers. So far he has walked and struck out. He leads the major leagues in strikeouts.
Yeah, I had never heard that particular theory about the cement curing and the ball carries better. I mean, occasionally they'll build some new buildings outside the ballpark that will change the wind currents inside the ballpark, and that's certainly understandable, but I've never heard the concrete curing causing the ball to carry better.
Got to think of these things. Sano fights that one off and dunks it into right, a 2-out single. Well, I remember when this ballpark first opened up, the hitter's background in dead center field was some of these beautiful Minnesota giant pine trees.
That's right.
But they discovered that the sunlight would reflect off the pine needles and create a massive glare for the hitters, which is another reason why maybe nobody hit a home run.
Yeah.
Nobody could see. So they had to yank out all these big, tall pine trees that were back there, and they just have this big blank black wall.
Kind of defeats the purpose of a batter's eye when it puts glare into the batter's box.
Well, they wanted to make it a little more, you know, they're big on camping up here in the woods, up here in the North Country.
Up Brainerd way.
Going up Brainerd, yeah. Eddie Rosario.
You know who should have been in the movie Fargo was former D-backs catcher Damian Miller.
Why? There's the littler pine
Littler
trees.
pine trees.
When was he?
Damian, you know, now he's living in a cabin way off the grid outside La Crosse, Wisconsin, but he had the accent, you know, the whole Fargo thing going on.
Is that your friend in a wood chipper there?
Kind of funny looking.
Oh, the little fella. Oh, that's belted down the right field line. A fair ball. Rosario knocks it into the corner. We'll see how fast Sano can run. He's coming around third. Oh, boy, he's going to be out by a mile. He just gave up halfway home. So they get Sano at home, and it stays 3-3.
Peralta's picking up the ball in the right field corner. Sano is still several strides away from third base. A perfect throw to Descalso, who unleashes a perfect throw to IANNETTA. And Sano says, nah, I'll pass this time.
He just pulled up halfway home after Gene Glynn, the third base coach, sent him in. So that is 9-4-2 on the putout for your State Farm winning combo. IANNETTA ended up just standing there with the ball waiting for him to get there, and he never really did.
That's one of those ones where you're banking on one of those two throws to home plate being offline or in the grass or in the dirt at home plate. But unfortunately for Sano, two perfect throws from Peralta and Descalso that time.
I don't think I've ever seen a guy just quit halfway between third and home. He just stopped. All right. He tapped out halfway. Miguel Sano. Goldie leads off the 6th inning. Irvin Santana has retired 10 straight Diamondbacks. D-backs led it 3-0 at one point. It's now 3-3. Goldie has an RBI single and a strikeout so far. See if Goldie can power up. He's hit home runs in 4 of his last 9 games. Knocks that one out to Kepler in right field, a leadoff single. Where is Todd Walsh? Uh-oh.
Are you really serious?
Dude, I told you these were popular.
Well, first of all.
Oh, score!
Yeah. My guy Joel, who runs the joint, accepted an $8 down payment.
Wait, do we have to do this in installments now?
I'm on it. The aroma attracts him, the action fascinates him, and the great taste brings him back.
Now, did you have one? Come on.
Come on, are you serious?
How good are they?
The question is, I got to walk halfway around the park to get to you.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much will be left.
We will not see a donut.
And even better news, I'm not going to say his name. Craig Ritchie, our executive producer, has cleared the purchase.
Has he? Nice, Craig.
So this costs $75. All right, that was the deal I made.
Well, just expense it. Craig will pick it up.
Right. So I'm going to make my way holding a bucket of donuts.
Good luck.
4 years of college, ladies and gentlemen.
We're all counting on you.
Thank you.
Stop calling me Shirley.
Okay. That's a long story.
Hey, what you doing there with those donuts? Daniel Descalso. Poor guy has to explain himself to people down there. Time to get the bats going again. That Goldie single was the Diamondbacks' first hit since A.J. Pollock's single in the 2nd inning. Let's see how Todd is making out here. Uh-oh. Now that's him finishing up his report. All right. And now what happens? Oops, he's being accosted by people.
You know what they said. Aren't you Todd Walsh?
Of course.
From Fox, Arizona?
He's been coming here for years. Yeah. Now there is a thing that they like to call up here Minnesota nice. Have you experienced Minnesota nice?
Not yet.
Everybody's just really nice.
Yeah, well.
That's what they say.
I guess around the ballpark here today, we've run into some extremely nice people.
Oh, yeah, they're great. Now, if you're walking around with a bucket of donuts, they'll be really nice. 3-1. Fastball miss, so a single and a walk open up the D-backs 6th against Irvin Santana. And that'll bring up Chris IANNETTA. Just the 2nd walk issued by Santana. IANNETTA has walk struck out 0 for 1. He's got Goldie at 2nd, Descalso at 1st, and nobody out in a 3-3 ball game. Chris has homered in 3 of his last 6 games. Not under that one, foul ground in front of the Minnesota dugout. Bauer's got it, 1 down. Nobody signaled infield fly on that. Doesn't matter. 1 out anyway. Here's Drury.
It's only an infield fly if fair. That's what the umpires say when they raise their hand in the air. Infield fly rule if fair.
Drury 0 for 2. It's interesting when you get in that situation how long they'll wait before they signal infield fly rule, because it has to be like not only in fair territory but at certain depths or whatever. Drury belts it, just foul down third.
Kind of the general rule is if an infielder can make the play on a ball hit in the air facing home plate, if he can get out to the spot, turn around and face home plate as he's making the catch, usually they're going to call the infield fly rule. It gets a little dicey when an infielder is kind of short-legging it after a shallow pop-up in the outfield and ends up catching it over the shoulder, but with a little bit of an effort could have got around the ball and faced home plate and made the play. That makes it tough on the umpire to determine.
Now, for folks that don't know, why did they come up with the infield fly rule in the first place?
Well, to keep infielders from intentionally dropping the ball. As you can imagine, if you're a base runner and you see a pop-up go up in the infield, well, what are you supposed to do? You don't want to go too far away from the base you're on in case they can't make the catch. They might double you off. But you don't want to stay too close to the base in case it does drop. And apparently there had been a lot of infielders over the years early on that let them drop and turn double plays. So they made a rule.
Another one in foul ground. Bauer's got that one as well. So, boy, first and second, nobody out. 2 foul pop-ups. And the batter will be Ketel Marte. Marte has struck out, flied out, 0 for 2. Goldie at second, Descalso at first, 2 down. First pitch fastball jumped on it, but it's fouled back 0-1. Diamondbacks with only 1 base hit since the second inning. That was Goldie's single to lead off this inning. Santana has walked 2. He struck out 6. Castro wants a word. Mentioned the Diamondbacks tied with the Rockies for that first wild card spot. Brewers 4.5 back. St. Louis is 5 back. The Rockies host Milwaukee tonight. They begin a weekend series at Coors Field. Matt Garza versus German Marquez in that one. Cardinals are at Pittsburgh tonight. Carlos Martinez goes for St. Louis against the Pirates' Trevor Williams. Here's the score. Rockies lead the Brewers 5-2, bottom 4 at Coors Field. And St. Louis has a lead at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, 11-8. That's a wild one. They're in the 8th inning. So both St. Louis and Colorado winning. Brewers are losing. Marte yanks that one foul. It's 1-2.
Charlie Blackmon with a leadoff homer in the ball game today for the Rockies against Matt Garza.
Wow, what a surprise.
Yeah, how about that? Shocker. 29th on the year for Charlie Blackmon.
90 pitches for Santana, 59 strikes. 2 on, 2 out, 1-2 on Ketel Marte. That one is out to right field for Kepler. D-backs at first and second, nobody out. They cannot get a run across. It stays 3-3 in Minneapolis. Field in Minnesota. Twins and D-backs tied at 3 as we start the home half of the 6th inning. T-Mobile brings us our unlimited baseball break. D-backs and Rockies dead even for that first National League wild card spot. Brewers 4.5 back. Cardinals are 5 off the pace. Now Milwaukee opens a weekend series at Coors Field. The Rockies lead that ball game right now. St. Louis is winning at Pittsburgh late in that ball game at PNC Park. Eduardo Escobar, the DH, has struck out twice. He leads off the 6th against Zach Godley, who's about to throw pitch number 100 in the ball game. In a little more than 5 innings of work. It's 0-2. .100 pitches, only 59 for strikes. Zach has walked 2. He struck out 9 today. Swing and a miss. There's the strikeout. That's 10 for Zach Godley. 1 down. Here's Byron Buxton. He's already had a tremendous ball game. A triple in the 2nd inning to the deepest part of the ballpark in left center field, and then an inside the park home run in the 4th as it caroms off the wall and by A.J. Pollock.
I mean, it got away from A.J. not that far, but just the speed of Buxton around those bases just flying.
He has now hit safely, Byron Buxton, in 8 straight games and 12 of his last 13. And he's hitting over 360 during that span. There's a strike. He's made some changes to his swing. He's choked up on the bat. You see there, it's not a real big thing, just a tiny little half an inch or so, just above the knob. And he's planted that back leg. That back leg stays firm. He used to have a big, giant toe tap. That front foot would come way up high. Now it's more of a quick jab step toward the mound. And all those changes really seem to have worked. See, that front foot gets down real quick there. 2-2.
According to StatCast, Byron Buxton made it from the right-handed batter's box all the way around the bases in 13.85 seconds. Wow.
I couldn't do that in a golf cart. That stays fair. It's by Lamb and up the left field line. Buxton's on the run again. And he pulls into second with a double. He's now a single shy of the cycle. Byron Buxton. A triple, a home run, and a double in 3 at-bats.
Down and gets a breaking ball. You can see Chris IANNETTA was preparing to block that pitch. It was headed for the dirt, but he picks it right off the top of his shoes and keeps it fair down into that left field corner. Looks like that might do it for Zach Godley here tonight.
Zach had a 3-0 lead. It's now 3-3 as Godley exits. Jorge De La Rosa on his way in. Minneapolis. Steve Berthew, Bob Brentley, and Todd Walsh with you. Twins and D-backs tied at 3. Zach Godley's night has come to an end, and answering the Ashline call to the bullpen, 52nd appearance this year for the left-hander Jorge De La Rosa. He comes on with 1 out in the 6th inning, and the Twins have the go-ahead run at second base. Byron Buxton, who has tripled, homered, and doubled so far tonight in 3 at-bats. Godley responsible for the base runner, and the switch hitter Jorge Polanco, the shortstop, will be the hitter. He'll flip around now and bat from the right-hand side. Polanco has an RBI double and a walk so far.
An odd night for Zach Godley. Gave up 9 hits. 7 of them went for extra bases. He did strike out 10 Twin batters. A weird outing.
Yeah, you're right.
At
Only
times
walked 2.
It looked like he was going to dominate this lineup, and at other times it looked like he wasn't going to be able to get out of the inning.
Well, it was 3-0 D-backs. Now it's 3-3. Buxton at second, 1 out. And here is Jorge Polanco, the shortstop. Play on at second, and Buxton gets back in there. Polanco, a switch hitter. He's 253 from the left side and only 215 as a right-hand batter. Uh-oh, that kicks away from IANNETTA, and Buxton moves up easily. He can really run. Cross up?
Looked like a cross up the way Chris IANNETTA reacted to it. Blocked it off that left bicep, but gets far enough away to allow Buxton to advance. Didn't have to get very far away for Buxton to advance.
So now the infield will come in. Diamondbacks infielders all on the edge of the grass. 1-0 on Jorge Polanco.
And we've seen similar situations recently with a runner at third, less than 2 outs in the inning. The Diamondbacks don't bring their infield all the way into the edge of the grass, but once again, that Byron Buxton speed at third base, if you're going to have any chance to throw him out at the plate, you better be right up there at the edge of the grass.
Yeah, if there was ever a guy with whom you'd run the contact play, it would be Byron Buxton.
That's one thing I do like about interleague play. The fact you get to see a guy like Byron Buxton or a Joe Mauer, some of the guys that you read about in the newspaper, you see them on the highlight shows at night, but you don't really get a chance to see them have 4 or 5 at bats in one day.
Yeah, I really agree with you. I don't like interleague play as a rule because I miss the old days when the World Series and the All-Star game was the only times the leagues faced each other. But you're right, it's great to come in here for a weekend and watch a guy like this.
Yeah, we've heard a lot about Byron Buxton and unlimited potential. When will he learn to harness that potential? Well, we may be seeing that here tonight.
And he's still only 23 years old. 3-1. That's by Goldie and into right. Buxton jogs home, and it's 4-3 Minnesota. Second RBI tonight for Jorge Polanco. Well, they played the numbers. They brought in the lefty. They flipped Polanco around to his weaker side, but he shoots it down the first base line for an RBI single.
That's one of the issues with bringing your infield in. You have absolutely no range. If that ball's not hit directly to you, it's probably going to get by into the outfield for an RBI base hit. Nice effort by Goldie, just couldn't get there with a dive.
Jason Castro, the catcher. That's Godley's run, and what was a 3-0 D-backs lead is now 4-3 Minnesota. So Godley goes 5 1/3 here tonight, gives up 4 earned, 9 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 10. And right now he's on the hook for the loss. Castro has struck out and hit into a double play. Polanco can run. He's got 7 stolen bases. And there he goes. He got a tremendous jump, and he's in there easily.
8th stolen base of the year for the Twins shortstop.
You know, partner, I talk all the time about those bottom of the lineup rally starters. Well, they got a couple pretty good ones in Buxton and Polanco. They're combined 5 for 5 with a walk, 3 runs scored and 3 runs driven in, and had a stolen base.
Buxton 3 for 3. Polanco 2 hits, 2 RBIs and a walk. Now in scoring position for Castro. Fastball's a strike. Castro can handle himself up there. He's batting .276 against left-hand pitchers. Just under 80 at bats against lefties this year. Taps that one foul. Jeff Smith over there coaching first for the Twins. D-backs led it 3-0 Minnesota. 1 run each in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and now the 6th. Hit hard right at DESCALSO, bobbles it, recovers, and throws him out as Polanco goes into 3rd. Here comes Dozier, the power hitting second baseman who struck out all 3 times he faced Zach Godley. And with first base open, they'll give him the intentional walk, and they'll work to the lefty Max Kepler, who homered in the 3rd. Now this is Torrey really playing the numbers. They brought in the lefty earlier, De La Rosa, to flip Polanco around to his weaker side, and now they've got the lefty still in there after the walk to Dozier, and it's Kepler who is hitting only .136 against left-hand pitchers this year. Kepler led off the 3rd with this upper deck in right center. His 2nd home run in as many games. He homered to break up a 2-2 tie here in the 7th inning last night against Cleveland. His 6th home run this month. Swing and a miss. Here's the splitter from Jorge De La Rosa, 1-1. Check swing, excuse me, Tapper to 3rd. Lamb's got to hurry, and he just does get Kepler. So De La Rosa strands 2, but the Twins get a run. They take the lead. It's 4-3 Minnesota.
Here at Target Field, I'm Todd Walsh, and welcome back. And there's a look at the winningest manager in Twins history, Ron Gardenhire, and bench coach for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tori Lavella saying on Diamondbacks side of the pregame show he's going to have to push him out to take out the lineup card before the game today, but that's out of respect to the guy that, well, I can tell you this, guys, just being around him since about 2 o'clock this afternoon, absolutely still loves this city, the people in it, this organization. We have a long form conversation with him that'll be on a pregame show on Sunday. We'll have a snippet as well tomorrow, but he got to sleep in his own bed last night, checked out his power auger in the garage and his ice fishing equipment, went to the doctor this morning, was cleared, blood work was good from the recovery from prostate cancer surgery, met with the press today. It was like the president walking in front of the media here. He was just fantastic today to deal with and be around.
And I'm sure you saw it as well, Todd. After the Diamondbacks finished their batting practice, there were 2 guys out on the field probably for a half an hour signing autographs. Ron Gardenhire and Chris Herman, the former Twin.
That's right. Chris actually sat down in front of the media thinking the press conference was for him.
Well, they like Chris Herman here an awful lot, but boy, Ron Gardenhire.
Yep.
I mean, 6 postseason appearances. He won more than 1,000 games as the Twins manager in 13 seasons. Was a bench coach too under Tom Kelly.
Talked about that '91 World Series. Talked about the handshake of Kirby Puckett coming around third in Game 6 to set up Game 7.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
Yep. Said his locker was right by Jack Morris. And Jack used to like to say, "I like to shower with the guys," meaning,
pardon me?
Yep, I'm going to make it all the way through the ninth, like he did, and then some in Game 7.
There's Kirby's 34 up there. Boy, they got some great players in this organization's history. Gregor Blanco putting up a fight on 3 and 2. Arvin Killebrew and Rod Carew, Tony Oliva, Ken Herbeck, Kirby Puckett, Bert Blyleven, Tom Kelly's 10 up there. By the way, nice job on the bucket of donuts.
Anything I can do to help the cause. I see that there's been a dent.
Well, you did leave him here. I mean, there's a leadoff walk for Blanco. 3rd walk issued by Irvin Santana.
Just rest assured, when the time comes to vote for Arizona Sportscaster of the Year, you get my vote.
It was great to see that Brandon Webb and Mark Grace are watching the show. They reached out to me.
What'd they say? Did they want some?
Big donut fans, yep.
Yeah, these things are unbelievable.
Yes.
Of course, they're covered in 30 pounds of sugar.
I noticed that.
David Peralta.
Gonna have to feed the truck at some point. I'm going out to my guy Joel and drop another $300 down and get some more donuts.
Oh yeah, we owe him more money, don't we? Because we're doing this on the installment plan.
We'll see how that works out.
You worked that out, did you? Or you're just not going back?
Oh, no. Sort of like my car payment? Yeah.
Hello.
Sure. Well, you guys enjoy.
Oh, we will.
Thanks, man.
I'm gonna grab one for the road.
Do they have any chocolate milk out there anywhere, Todd?
Way out in center.
Hold on there, cowboy.
I don't know. Santana about to throw pitch number 100 here. Diamondbacks have 1 base hit since the 2nd inning. That was Goldie's single that led off the 6th.
Yeah, and that was followed by a Daniel DESCALSO walk. He had a pretty good feeling that something might boil over in that 6th inning, but after the single and the walk, quick 1, 2, 3, 2 foul pop-ups and a fly ball to right, and the D-backs were right out of the inning.
Yeah, D-backs had 5 hits through 1 2/3 tonight. Looked like they were going to be on their way to a double-digit run total. But AJ had a 2-out single in the 2nd, and since then 1 base hit. Peralta changes that. He knocks it by Mauer and into right. So for the 2nd consecutive inning, the Diamondbacks have 1st and 2nd, nobody out. That's the 3rd hit tonight for David Peralta. 2 singles and a home run. Here comes Paul Molitor. That's going to be it for Irvin Santana. We'll take a break from Target Field in Minnesota. Diamondbacks threatening, but they trail it 4-3.
Arizona, we're at Target Field in Minnesota, where the D-backs trail the Twins 4-3. Fans, don't forget it's MLB.TV for every night, every device. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live, and you can get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, which is the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for all the details. D-backs down one, have first and second, nobody out here in the 7th. And on from the Minnesota bullpen, the right-hander Trevor Hildenberger. A 2.96 ERA, his 19th appearance. Now this guy, BB, you may like this guy. He's tricky because he's got a funky sidearm motion. And you know how some guys quick pitch? We've talked about that a lot this year. Every once in a while, Hildenberger will come straight over the top. So he'll completely change his arm angle, trying to catch guys off guard.
Go full Josh Colmenter, huh?
Yeah.
Right over the top. Great strikeout to walk ratio. 27 punch-outs in 24 and a third innings pitched. Only 3 walks for Hilgenberger.
Now watch his arm angle here as he faces A.J. Pollock. See, it's very much across your body, steps toward third. That curveball was in there for a strike. He's got Blanco at second, Peralta at first, but every once in a while he'll come over the top. A.J. has grounded out, singled, flied out, 1 for 3. Right back to the mound. The force on Peralta for 1, and they turn the double play. But Blanco gets into third as the tying run with 2 outs.
Anxious to see how Hilgenberger would throw the ball to second base. It's a little bit of a sidearm delivery, not quite as exaggerated as the pitch he threw to A.J. Pollock.
Paul Molitor got the double play ball he was looking for. Now he'll go back to the bullpen with Jake Lamb coming up. We'll take a break from Target Field. The Diamondbacks, he's coming up with the tying run at third and 2 outs here in the 7th inning. D-backs trail the Twins 4-3. So Paul Molitor goes back to his bullpen for the left-hander Taylor Rogers, brought on to face Jake Lamb here, his 53rd appearance of the year. Diamondbacks had first and second, no outs in the 6th inning. Couldn't get a run across. First and second, no outs here in the 7th. Pollock just hit into a double play ball, so Blanco's at third, 2 down, and Lamb is the hitter. 1 for 3, an RBI single in the first. Blanco stays put over there.
Jake this year against left-hand pitchers batting 144. Does have 5 home runs against lefties.
And Taylor Rogers on the mound has held lefties to a 200 batting average this year. Maybe just a matchup lefty here in the 7th inning.
Fastball's a strike, and it's 1-1. Popped up. Foul ground, third base side. Castro and SANO. They almost collided. Castro's got it. Diamondbacks once again, first and second, no outs, and cannot score. Mauer leads off the 7th inning here. Diamondbacks trail the Twins 4-3. Hey fans, a reminder tomorrow on FS1. It's the Dodgers and the Tigers. Coverage starts at noon on FS1. Hopefully, the Tigers win this game. Stupid Dodgers. We can update you on the game in Pittsburgh. The Cardinals have won a wild one. They beat the Pirates tonight 11-10. And the Rockies have a lead on the Brewers in a big National League wild card game at Coors Field. It's 8-2 Colorado. They're in, what is that? Looks like the 6th inning. There's Mauer, who has singled and struck out twice. Mauer hitting .244 against lefties this year. No home runs. Sends that out the other way and drops it into left center field. So Mauer 2 for 4. Mauer now has multiple hits in 6 of his last 7 games in which he's come to bat. Leadoff single. Here's SANO. Torey Lovello. So De La Rosa couldn't get the lefty there. It's a leadoff single for Mauer. And we'll go back to the D-back bullpen. We'll take a break from Target Field. Diamondbacks trail it 4-3.
trail the Twins 4-3. BB, I got a game for you.
Okay.
This is all you. Sunday, September 10th. It's Grandparents' Day at Chase Field.
Nice.
Yeah, bring them all over. You can create memories with a family, enjoy the Diamondbacks and the Padres, and take home a very nice keepsake photo with the special event ticket pack. So get your D-backs Grandparents' Day special event ticket pack, dbacks.com/grandparents. David Hernandez on to face the dangerous Miguel Sano. And that's why he's so dangerous. Look at this one go. Oh my goodness. Miguel Sano is 27th. And the Twins have a 6-3 lead. Wow. This is a big ballpark, and he hit that one way up there.
I think it's safe for Gene Glenn to wave him on home on this one. Holy cow, did he hit that ball a ton.
That is a big-time home run.
Break the ball up in the zone, out over the plate at 86 miles an hour, and just absolutely annihilated the left center field.
This is a big yard, and look where this one lands. Wow. His 27th of the year, Miguel Sano. Eddie Rosario, the left fielder. Diamondbacks have now been out hit 12-7. They led at one point 3-0. It's now 6-3. Rosario has doubled twice tonight, 2 for 3 up there. So Irvin Santana in line for the win. Santana tonight went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs, 7 hits. Walked 3, struck out 6. 1 and 2 on the Twins left fielder.
According to StatCast, the estimated distance of that Sano home run, 452 feet.
Seems longer. Diamondbacks look to be on their way. They got Zach Godley 2 runs in the top of the first inning. RBI singles by Lamb and Goldschmidt. But they've had only 2 base hits since the second inning, both singles. And twice now in the 6th and 7th, they had runners at first and second, no outs, and failed to score. 2-2 on Eddie Rosario. Rosario likes sitting here at Target Field. He's batting almost .330 at home this year. And this is where he's hit 12 of his 16 homers. Nice catch. Just by Descalso and into right. 3 consecutive hits open up the Minnesota 7th. Rosario 3 for 4. Here's Eduardo Escobar, the DH. Struck out all 3 times he faced Zach Godley. You know, it's funny when you look at the Twins, Bob. They're a game over 500, 60-59. They're only 1 game out of a wild card spot. They're 6 games behind Cleveland for the AL Central lead. And you look at the team, and nobody's really hitting much more than 260. Sano's put some good power numbers up there, but nothing else really jumps out at you. Dozier's certainly a good player, but you go, yeah, how are these guys right in the thick of things like they are? But then you watch them play and you see why.
Put a bunch of extra base hits on the board already tonight, finding gaps, finding foul lines, occasionally finding the bleachers.
We've got some intriguing young players. And being in the American League certainly doesn't hurt because, as you can see behind them for that wild card spot, it's a bunch of teams barely 500, some under 500. That American League wild card race is just a free-for-all right now. Escobar fouls that one off. That got Chris IANNETTA back there. Rough start so far for David Hernandez. A home run and a single. Ahead of Escobar, 1-2. Whoa, they had Rosario leaning the wrong way that time. He's stolen 5 bases, but he's been caught 6 times this year. Brewers trying to come back. It's now 8-4 Rockies at Colorado. Cardinals won in Pittsburgh 11-10. Rosario takes off. Escobar gets one way up in the air. Right center. And it's gone. Eduardo Escobar is 11th. Another Twins 2-run homer, and it's 8-3.
I think we're seeing why the Twins are hanging around that wild card race. They've got some thunder up and down this lineup. Hasn't always played out that way, but certainly is tonight. Really flexing their muscles. Second home run in this inning.
They've hit 4 home runs in the game, one of which was the inside the park home run by Byron Buxton. And here is Buxton, only a single shy of the cycle. They're on their feet in Minnesota. Just foul at third. Buxton tripled and scored in the second. Hit an inside the park home run in the 4th. Doubled and scored in the 6th. He needs a single. His inside the park home run set a new StatCast record, 13.85 seconds around the bases. That's the fastest time ever recorded by StatCast. He broke his own record, which he set last October at the White Sox. Nobody's had an inside the park home run for the cycle in a long time. And DESCALSO is there. That's the first out in the 7th.
Fans here at Target Field recognizing what they are seeing from Byron Buxton tonight. They were all on their feet that entire at bat, rooting for a lousy single. Looked like he had one into center field, but DESCALSO able to close ground and make the play on that line drive.
Well, with the Twins, the home team, and leading 8-3, might not get another at bat tonight. We'll see. Here's Polanco, the shortstop, who has doubled, walked, and singled. He's knocked in 2. DESCALSO one more time. The catcher, Jason Castro. Twins now with 8 runs on 14 hits. They've hit 4 home runs tonight. Castro, the number 9 hitter, 0 for 3. Dodgers won again. They were down 2-0. Wound up winning at Detroit 8-5. They beat the Tigers. Chris Taylor had 4 hits. Corey Seager 3 RBIs. Logan Forsythe 3 RBIs. The game tonight for the Dodgers also marked the return of Adrian Gonzalez. Coming off the DL, the 60-day DL, where he had consistent back problems. Doubled in his first plate appearance since June 11th. Angels are leading in Baltimore 7-5. Albert Pujols tonight hit career home run number 609. He is tied with Sammy Sosa for 8th all time. 2-2 on the Twins catcher. Michael Brenly's Red Sox at Fenway Park leading the Yankees 7-6, although the Yankees have out-hit Boston 12-8. Phil Mollica's Yankees are losing.
All's right with the world.
That's right, exactly. Castro swing and a miss, strikes out, but the Twins get 4. Diamondbacks trail at 8-3. Sort of look on their faces right now. This one got away in a hurry, but still time. 8-3 as we start the 8th inning. Fans, you can get to any weekend home game with a D-backs Bud Light ticket pack. It includes next weekend's matchup against the Giants at Chase Field, August 25th through the 27th. The pack includes a game ticket, a Bud Light, and a bacon wrap Sonoran hot dog, all for only $29. Visit dbacks.com/Bud Light. A lot of D-backs fans here with us. Our Golden Glover, Karen Howland-Wolf, is here. She flew out to see her D-backs. Goldie, 2 singles. He's got an RBI, 2 for 3. Leads off the 8th against the left-hander Taylor Rogers. So Goldie now with an 8-game hitting streak. One and 2. Goldschmidt, Descalso, IANNETTA, 4, 5, and 6 in the D-backs 8th inning. bat bouncer to third. SANO with a big arm down there. He can really throw. Down.
Not surprising he has a big arm. Everything about that man is big, including that home run he hit in the last half inning. That was just a monster blast.
That was majestic. That was Giancarlo Stanton majestic. Daniel DESCALSO 0 for 2 with a walk. Diamondbacks have just not been able to get the offense going after a tremendous start to the ball game. 3 hits and 2 runs in that first inning. A solo homer by David PERALTA in the second. They led it 3-0. But the Diamondbacks have only 2 base hits since that second inning, both singles. Chop foul, and quickly it's 0-2. They've been out hit 14-7. They trail at 8-3. Missed up with a breaking ball, 1-2. Well, yesterday in Houston, Daniel DESCALSO hit an inside the park home run. Tonight in Minnesota, it was Byron Buxton's turn. The Twins center fielder led off the 4th with an inside the park homer. He's a single shy of the cycle. And hoping to get one more at bat. The odds are against him, though. You never know. Tripled in the second, hit the inside the park home run in the 4th. Doubled in the 6th. He scored 3 times tonight, the center fielder. Called strike 3, dots the fastball. Second time tonight DESCALSO has been caught looking. Paul Molitor going out to the mound. Chris IANNETTA is the scheduled hitter. He wants his right-hander. Will take a break from target field. Diamondbacks trail at 8-3. Summary from Minneapolis. Diamondbacks had a 3-0 lead in this one. David PERALTA solo homer, but since then it's been all Minnesota. The Twins have hit 4 home runs, including an inside the park home run by Byron Buxton. And with 2 outs at the top of the 8th inning. It's 8-3 Twins. New pitcher for Minnesota, the right-hander out of Rice. He's a Rice Owl. It's Tyler Duffy, who has made 36 career starts. He's now working out of the bullpen, a 4.04 ERA.
26 starts last season for the Twins when he went 9-12 with an ERA of almost 6.5.
Run on, bases empty, 2 down to face Chris IANNETTA. Chris has walked, struck out, popped up 0 for 2. IANNETTA sends this out to Kepler in right field. And that's the end of the top of the 8th. Diamondbacks down 5 in Minnesota. It's 8-3 Twins. DRURY. National League wild card race. Nolan Arenado. Rockies trailing Manny Garza, the Brewers. And he knocks it off the wall. A triple for Arenado. Colorado tied with the Diamondbacks for the first wild card spot. Are leading Milwaukee right now at Coors Field. Brewers only 4.5 back. Trevor Williams in Pittsburgh serves it up to Matt Carpenter. And the Cardinals had a massive lead in this one, 11-3. They hung on and won 11-10. So St. Louis, which was 5 off the pace, has 1 in Pittsburgh. The Rockies are beating Milwaukee right now. Diamondbacks here in Minnesota losing against the Twins 8-3. New pitcher for the Diamondbacks. It's the right-hander Silvino Bracho. His 12th appearance of the season. He'll face the leadoff man, Brian Dozier. Byron Buxton is a single shy of the cycle. Dozier's the leadoff man. Buxton bats 7th for Minnesota. So unless Bracho gives up a few base runners here, Buxton may not get a chance at the cycle. He did have a chance in the 7th inning and hit one up the middle that looked like it was headed into center field, but he hit it right at DESCALSO, who was shaded over behind the bag. So Buxton 3 for 4. Two and 0 to Dozier. Oh, he left that one up, and that is crushed. The back of the second deck and left. Brian Dozier is 24th and the 5th Twins home run tonight. Bracho left that one in a bad spot.
fans are not being very hospitable. First batter facing a new pitcher in the game. David Hernandez gave up the long home run to Miguel Sano in the 7th inning, and now Ryan Dozier ambushes Silvino Bracho. Oh, man. Fastball maybe even off the plate inside, but that's right where Dozier wants it, to lift that ball in the air to left field.
Yeah, he is a dead pull hitter like we talked about earlier, and he yanks that one to the back of the second deck. Here's Kepler, who homered in the 3rd. He shoots that one into right field, a base hit. Twins trying to get Buxton one more at bat here. Well, there's a lot to like about Max Kepler. Good looking young left-hand power hitter. He's only 24. Here's Joe Mauer. Mauer 2 for 4. He has singled twice and scored a run. Change up in the dirt. Mauer has multiple hits now in 6 of his last 7 games, including tonight. Now 34 years old in his 14th major league season, all with his hometown Twins. He's a St. Paul native. Doubled up on a changeup. He was the first overall pick in the 2001 draft by the Twins out of high school in St. Paul. 6 times an All-Star, 3 batting titles, an MVP award. Yes, he checked, says Sean Barber at 3rd. 2-1 on Joe Mauer. Mauer's a big guy up there, 6'5", 225. He was a massive catcher. Hard to imagine a guy like that being that good a catcher, a big guy like that, but he won 3 gold gloves behind the plate. Just missed there, 3-1. Silvino Bracho. A home run by Dozier, a single by Kepler, now behind on Mauer, 3-1. Another changeup, it's full. Sano, who hit a long, impressive home run his last time up, is on deck.
Standing very close to home plate. You can see him there on the left side of your picture. He's only about 20 feet from the plate right now.
It's like he could tap Ted Barrett on the shoulder. He's in the picture. That's amazing. Bounce to second. Descalso could tell Marte for 1, and Bracho gets the double play ball. There's Sano. He has walked, singled, and hit a 2-run home run, his 27th of the year. And it was not a cheapie. '27 homers, 76 RBIs. Those numbers already career highs. Only 24 years old, an All-Star this year, Miguel Sano. D-backs put 3 infielders on the left side against the right-hand batter. This was Miguel Sano, first batter that David Hernandez faced in the 7th. Goodness. A lot of change-ups from Bracho tonight. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's another one, 2-2. Fastball away. Sano, who leads the major leagues in strikeouts, wouldn't bite. And the count is full 3-2.
His next strikeout will be number 170 on the season.
Might
as well get it out of the way right here.
Yeah, it's a good time for it. Three and 2 pitch from Silvino Bracho. Another fastball. And Sano striking out in 36% of his at-bats this year. But he's had tremendous power. He's played very good defense at third. He's come a long way, still only 24. And he's got another one. Look at this one go. Oh my goodness. Miguel Sano, that's his 28th. 6 home runs for the Twins tonight at Target Field. Miguel Sano, he can put on a show, and he certainly has tonight.
Oh, right down the middle. That's been a common problem with D-backs pitching lately, especially against overly aggressive hackers at the plate that'll chase just about anything in a 2-strike count. He got a pitch right down the middle.
Eddie Rosario, 3 for 4. 2 doubles and a single. He scored a run. Twins trying to get Buxton one more at bat. He's a single shy of the cycle. 2 outs, bases empty. Rosario the hitter, Escobar on deck, and Buxton in the hole. Oh, 2. Dozier is homered. Kepler is homered. Sano is homered twice. Escobar is homered. Buxton hit it inside the park home run. Twins have 10 runs on 17 hits. Another changeup missed away. It's 1-2.
.474 feet, the estimated distance on that laser beam off the bat of Sano that time.
And the first one was 450
something,
5-ish.
Little pop up, yeah.
Wow, it's about 1,000 feet worth of homers in 2 at bats. Miguel Sano. 1-2 on Eddie Rosario.
He just didn't want to run the risk of Gene Glenn sending him home from third base again.
I don't think I've ever seen a guy just come to a dead stop halfway. That was entertaining. As Sano was thrown out at home in the 5th inning, as Rosario hit a double into the right field corner when Sano was at first base, and he was out by a lot. A 9-4-2 relay from Peralta, Descalso to IANNETTA. Sano just stopped running. After he ran around third, he gave up.
He was out by about 45 or 50 feet.
But usually the guy pulls up and concedes and jogs home. He didn't even do that. He just stopped.
Uncle.
He tapped out. Bounce to first, fair ball. Goldie's got it. Bracho's there, and the inning ends. But 2 more homers for the Twins. Dozier and SANO. Diamondbacks down 10-3. Second inning, David Peralta slices one the other way for his 13th home run of the year. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning and plumbing cool play of the game. That home run made it 3-0 Diamondbacks. They now trail it 10-3 as the Minnesota Twins have hit 6 home runs, including 2 absolute bombs by Miguel Sano. They trail at 10-3. Duffy back out there for the 9th inning. Brandon Drury, Ketel Marte, and Gregor Blanco due up. Lower third of the D-backs order. D-backs have been out hit 17-7. Diamondbacks have had 2 base hits since the 2nd inning. Both singles. Sure looked like after the Peralta homer, they had 2 in the first, 1 in the second. They were going to be on their way to a big night against Irvin Santana, but boy, it quickly reversed itself. Santana, after Pollock's 2-out single in the 2nd inning, retired 10 straight Diamondbacks. And the Twins broke out the whooping sticks.
Yeah, after those first 2 innings, you thought the score might be reversed. It looked like the Diamondbacks had a little spring in their step in those first 2 innings, putting together some good at bats, driving the ball. But somebody hit the off switch.
It's happened a little too often for the Diamondbacks as of late. Rockies are home, leading the Brewers 8-4. Cardinals have already won in Pittsburgh. 2-2 on Brandon Drury. Broken bat, roller to second. Dozier's got it. Down. Well, we keep going back to that one date, June 27th. That was the high water mark. Diamondbacks on that date got to 22 games over 500. They were 50-28. And unless something changes here, they will have gone 17-27 since. Paul Molitor with a 10-3 lead in the 9th inning, going to change pitchers back after this. Well, Paul Molitor, with a 10-3 lead in the 9th inning, is going to bring in his left-hander Nick Turley to flip switch hitting Ketel Marte around to his somewhat weaker side. So here's Turley, who was called up from the minors for yesterday's doubleheader. This is his second stint with the Twins this year, his 4th big league appearance, up from AAA Rochester. Made his major league debut earlier this season at San Francisco.
Nick Turley lives in Gilbert, Arizona in the offseason.
Nice.
Arizona boy.
Ketel Marte 0 for 3. Hard to third. Here's Sano. Well, he really can throw down there. 2 outs. Todd Walsh standing by. D-backs live post-game show presented by CenturyLink follows our ball game. Gregor Blanco 0 for 2 with a walk. Last man standing. Cardinals have won. Rockies are winning. They're leading Milwaukee. So unless the Brewers can come back, the Diamondbacks will drop 1 game behind Colorado for the first National League wild card spot. Blanco backs out there, strike 1. Fly ball left field. Rosario's under it. And the Diamondbacks, in a game they led 3-0, lose 10-3. They can manage only 2 base hits after the 2nd inning, both singles, while the Twins hit 6 home runs, including 2 long homers by Miguel Sano.
We talked about the offense in the open of the show tonight, specifically Goldie and Jake Lamb. It's going to take more than just 2 guys swinging the bats well for the Diamondbacks to go where they want to go at the end of this season. Got to find a way to wake up those bats.
Well, Minnesota's bats were wide awake here tonight. Byron Buxton came up a single shy of the cycle. They out-hit the D-backs 17-7. Diamondbacks drop it 10-3. Todd Walsh is standing by. He'll have reaction. You'll hear from Torey Lovullo and some of the players.